had some time on my hands, and I literally thought, like, for shits and giggles, I'm going to go and buy a car. Going from nothing, 20 cars, whittled the AutoTrader package right down, come back, build a platform, get dealers on board. Yeah, it's been one hell of a journey.
I don't think that on your own, because I mean, normally I was with Click Dealer and we've got like 40 staff or 70 staff. You ask for like a little change to be done the sale, that's on the next quarterly build.
Yeah, you WhatsApp me, it'll be done in like 10 minutes.
All we do is try not to die. Makes any sense?
The first 2 months I didn't pay myself at all.
Working every hour you're awake.
Phone just does not ring.
I looked so terrible because I was like working in the US constantly.
And then there's me sitting in my underpants at home trying to sell a few cars.
Wasted all of my money on cars.
£7.5 billion worth of transactions through that platform.
But AutoTrader didn't seem to care.
It makes them more money though, that's what matters.
3 years ago, what do you want from a used car?
It was the grumpiest man I've ever met in my life.
I'll come up north and we'll have a few Negronis.
Go on! What a cracker!
Hello everyone, welcome back to Dealer Pod, the UK's #1 motor trade podcast. This week, as always, I'm your host Stephen Douglas alongside Scott Sibley of Redgate Lodge and the YouTube channel Honest Cars, and Jamie Capel, owner of Car Key and his YouTube channel Car Lateral. This week's show is sponsored by Brego. Brego tells you exactly what a car is worth. It pulls in real market data, so you're not guessing or relying on your gut. You get a fast, accurate valuation every time, so you can buy with confidence and make more money on your stock. Now, before we get started, make sure that you smash that like button down below, you hit the subscribe button, and you turn on notifications so you never miss an episode, because we drop new ones every week. Right, let's get into it. This is This Week in the Motor Trade.
This Week in the Motor Trade, brought to you by Brego.
This Week in the Motor Trade, brought to you by Brego, automotive valuations and analytics at your fingertips. Gentlemen, what has been happening this week in the wonderful world of the motor trade?
Do you want to go first, Scott?
We'll start with Scott this week. What's been happening, Scott? Because I've not seen you. What's the crack?
Not very much, really. I would like to be exciting and say something exciting's happened, but nothing really has happened apart from the job's gone a bit flat.
Ah, right. Never.
Yeah, we're like chipping away, but it's the inquiries are down a little bit. We even checked our systems to see if there was a fault.
Which system in particular did you check?
The Super Chat.
Oh, did you? Oh, right, the WhatsApp thing.
So we emailed them to double check a couple of things, but and then we've got like managers groups with the WhatsApps, and I've asked them to test it, the different departments, and they said everything's working as it should be. So there's customers around, but it's I don't know if it's you look for a reason, sunshine, or people going to the beach or something, or is it the war? Is it an extra 15 quid to fill your tank, or 20 quid, whatever you drive? Is that killing it off? Or I don't know, just be until the dust settles with that, I suppose.
I actually noticed that yesterday. It was an extra 26 quid to fill my car up.
Was it really?
Aye. I mean, it was motorway, like, so that might have had something to do with the services, but yeah. I see you've dropped off a bit.
Dropped off a little bit. We're on, I think we've done 96 or something, but it's the 20th, but so we've got like then this week and then next week and a couple of days of the following week. So we're in a good position, but it was running along nicely, but it's just slowed down this week.
I think you might struggle this weekend as well with the Newcastle Sunderland game on as well.
Yeah, I thought that.
Because super positive there.
Yeah, well, I'm just being honest though.
You're dumb, Scott.
The whole North East will be
I'm doomed, aren't I?
Doomed. You'll not have enough money to heat the pool this week.
Right.
No.
It's been drained.
Jamie, how about you? How have you been getting on with this sale event?
So good. But, I have dramatically dropped prices. I was chatting to somebody else about it the other day. They were like, what else have you done marketing-wise and stuff? I've done nothing. Just dropped everything. But on the adverts, there's like a deadline on the event. So it's giving a bit of urgency, I feel, to the customers that they've got to make that decision, got to leave a deposit. Otherwise, the car's going to go up in price. But like I've said the last couple of weeks, we had a torrid start to the month. And Craig was saying, just wait, just relax. So I kind of feel like I've dropped prices as we were probably going to go on a bit of a run, if that makes sense. So I think there's a little combination. We had a lean period. We were due a little run, coupled with the fact that we've lobbed over £150,000 off our prices. and the two have created this perfect storm of a dealing bonanza. So it's been good. Yesterday wasn't brilliant, but again, yesterday I was out of the business. I was at Car Dealer Live, seeing a fellow Dealer Pod host on stage. I say that, I actually left before you got on stage.
I know, to be fair, I was going to pull you up about that. I was extremely disappointed that you didn't stay in support.
But for the time I was there, and I'm not just saying this to creep up to James of Car Dealer magazine, but definitely learned things. Two things that changes we're going to make in our own business. And
Jimmy, if you'd stayed for longer, you would have learned a bit more.
What time did you leave? About 1 o'clock?
Just literally, as I saw Dougie get up to go on stage, I saw him looking for me in the crowd, and I was like, I've got to go because this is going to ruin. He's going to struggle with. No, I just. But I've kept up to date. Everything was summarised on AI in the chat group, so I've had a look at some of the other stuff. But it was the out of hours contact. What happens when a customer inquires with your business out of hours? And I'm acutely aware that more and more and more people inquire out of hours. And I'm going to do my own inquiries on my own business out of hours. I've not done it yet. I promised to do it. I'll do it tonight because we get into quite a lot of leads some mornings, yet they seem cold. And I'm just wondering if because they've not had much of a response or a conversation, is that meaning that the other car they inquired on, if they've started talking to someone who's at home literally WhatsApping them, which I'm not going to do, and I wouldn't expect my team to do, but if they've started a conversation with an AI bot or a third-party company, is that customer further down the funnel and warmer the following morning to doing a deal?
100%.
Yeah, so that's something I think we've got to look at. And
Super Chat, what Scott mentioned, it's what we use as well.
Yeah.
So automate all your WhatsApp journeys.
Yeah. So that's
good Super Chat. It is good. It's not cheap, mind. It's not cheap. So we pay like 300 quid a month for it or something. But if it gets you an extra deal a month at least, which you probably will do, it's worth it, innit? But yeah, you should look into that.
Yeah. The other thing is we had a chat, Craig and I, on the way and on the way back about actually not having to worry about the team walking in the office and doing stuff. So we had kind of 3.5, 4 hours together to talk about some other changes that we want to look at making. We were going to film some content for YouTube, and we filmed about 4 seconds at the do. So I did a bit of B-roll, but again, we'll try and pad an episode out of that. But we talked about making the business better and how we're going to try and make more money next year. Because I think ultimately, not greedy, but in business, you've got to try and look at leveling up, haven't you, for the following year? And what can you do? Even the other day, you were saying to me, Scott, our finance pen and our warranty pen is poor compared to like you do a cash no bits. Like, it's cash no bits. I'm like, we've just dealt. Come on. You're like, we've done cash no bits. Genuinely, if we increased our pens across the board, would make a massive difference to the business. So we've got to find ways of monitoring it, improving it, and driving it. And that's something Craig needs to look at amongst the other 75,000 jobs he has to do in the business while I'm sat on podcasts having a crack.
Just talking about your sale, I think we've put together a little piece of what's been going on during your sale, so we'll run that now.
Yeah, it's not completed. The sale's obviously not completed yet, so it's a little cliffhanger at the end. But roll it, man. It's great stuff. This is how to sell 100 cars in 10 days.
Man with the gelatinous cube.
Need an absolute badass team of individuals. Balloons.
That's, for whatever reason.
Discounts. You know what, there's only one thing left. Motivation. I should... Oh, come on, mate. Do you want to do?
You've got Golden Boy here who's just sat at his desk.
I told him that there's going to be some money coming off it.
We need to put stickers on 180 cars.
How's it your deal then?
What's his name?
You look like the Jolly Green Giant. Come on. Never before in the history of car sales, the challenge had been set, the bar had been set so hard. 10 days of dealing,
35.
You're going to do
35. You haven't done 35 all year.
20.
What a joke this is.
My fault!
Oh my God. It's not rough.
Right, we're off and running, man. Come on, what did I say to you? It's us against the world, it's us against the forecourt. We're under siege, taking the fight back to the stock, the side, the industry. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, that was good, that, Jamie. Yeah, we'll see
Brilliant,
what happens. See what happens at the end.
Particularly like the bit at the start. It's really good, you know. Did the morning meeting and stuff, but yeah,
enjoyed that.
Good
For everyone watching, we haven't even seen the clip yet. But I'll put it in afterwards. That's why we're laughing.
We've not even made the clip yet. It's in
I
progress.
bet it's good. It'll be good. So this week for me, like Jamie touched on, I've spent a little bit of time out of the business. I was asked to be on the panel at Dealer Live. And it was a bit out of my comfort zone, to be fair, on getting on stage in front of all those people. Obviously, I'm quite an outgoing person as it is, but I don't know, I just sort of froze before I went up, but I think I've done all right. I spoke a little bit about my business and how I'm using AI and things like that. It was nice and informal, asking us a few questions, just talking about the motor trade, I suppose, what we're doing. Yeah, but it was good, interesting, getting to meet, you know, other dealers and other sort of people throughout the industry. Good to put a few faces to a few names. And I met, even though for a while, since obviously having him on the podcast, Danny Bond, first time I've actually met him in person, but we've been WhatsApping and talking on the phone for ages. So that was really nice. Went down the night before and stopped at a hotel, and me, Danny, and a few of the other guys sort of had a bit of a chin wag and didn't get into like 3 o'clock in the morning. So had a roll.
Was it Tom?
Sorry,
Was it
Tom.
Tom?
Yeah,
Tom wanted, yeah.
Tom from Corey, great lad. Honestly, what a good laugh. And actually, Joel Coombs from Logistics was sat with him for hours. He's you would think, you know, like running being a lawyer and running that sort of business, be like a square. He's totally not, man. He's good character,
proper character,
good character. Yeah, we need to get him on. I think we will do so. But no, we had good fun. So, but the next morning, for a quick story for you before we move on. So obviously, because I was going on stage, I thought, well, I need to, you know, look the part. So I went out a couple of nights previously, and I was in a bit of a rush and at the shops, and I wanted a crisp white shirt, new shirt. So I went to the shop and I'm in between sizes. So I picked up 2 shirts, one medium and one large. Not really, but 2 sizes of shirts. So I went home, thought nothing about it. Woke up the following morning with a sore head. The gig started at 9 a.m. I woke up at 9:30. Oh no, exactly. So I was jumped up, showered in a rush. I didn't have to be there for 9 a.m. to be fair.
How far were you from the venue?
About 20 minutes. But the thing was, Danny was on the panel as well. His session was at 20 past 11. So I wanted to be there for that, because otherwise I would have just rolled over and stayed in bed and went for my session. But I got myself out of bed, jumped in the shower, and then went to get ready, put my pants on, what have you. Went into the wardrobe, and then obviously when I said, I rewind back 2 days when I bought those 2 shirts. When I got home, I tried them both on. One fit perfectly, and one was an absolute like woman's blouse. It was down to me knees. Which shirt had I brought with us?
A woman's blouse.
The massive woman's blouse looking shirt. So I put this shirt on. I looked like I'd lost 10 stone, and I was trying to like tuck it behind me back so it fit. I obviously put my jacket on over the top, but it just kept on flopping like that. So I was like, I can't get up on stage looking like this. So I had to go on Google. I found a Marks and Spencer's that was 35 minutes the wrong way. Oh. And then I drove the 35 minutes the wrong way in the blouse, by the way. but managed to get a shirt, had to come back to the hotel, iron it, because obviously it was in the packet. and then obviously driving about 20 minutes the other way. I got there at about 10 past 11, just before Danny come on.
Good deal.
So that was a bit my story. But anyways, before we move on to this week's guest, I just wanted to show the audience, obviously, when you sponsor Brego, I wanted to bring their platform up just to, I feel like there would be a good fit for some of our listeners, especially the listeners who are looking and who are watching the show rather, and who are currently debating whether they're leaving AutoTrader or they've left AutoTrader. And I've noticed a few dealers who have sort of downgraded their packages, but they've kept on like the minimum package that they possibly can just to get the AutoTrader data. Well, Brego is a platform that have replicated their own pricing algorithms and things like that. So I really think it would be a good, much cheaper tool for that sort of punter. So if you have left AutoTrader or you're not managing on that platform anymore, you're using other platforms or using social media and what have you, I just want you to have a little look at this. So I'm just going to bring it up on screen. So Jamie, what I've done, went on the platform and I've found a car that is a car key car, and it's this Mercedes C-Class. And the reason I picked this one, because according to Brego, you've had this car in stock for 153 days.
Cheers. So you basically picked one of my most overage cars and you literally throw me under the bus.
Yes.
Live in front of, well, not live.
Millions.
Kind of live.
There'll not be millions, but there'll be a few. I've noticed it's in your spring event as well. It's been reduced by $1,000, but it's still there. It's still there.
Can't sell it. What a nice car as well. What a clean car, good colour. It's in the, what's the blue called? I can't remember what the blue's. Brilliant blue.
It's got the nice wheels, Jimmy.
Well, if you actually zoom in, they're kind of like small. They're almost wheel trim alloys. If you zoom in,
right.
You'll only see a full photo of one if it's not been curved.
Got you.
So you might struggle to find a wheel shot. But
yeah.
What a nice car.
I think, Jimmy, you need a chrome deletion on that, tints, and probably a pan grille at the front, just make it a bit more aggressive.
So you say this, and we've often toyed with the idea, because I know people who do well with putting the kits on, black packs, they do this, they do that to the cars. We've never done it. And I'd almost, and maybe it's wrong, but the workshop is that busy and stacked, prep, trying to get stuff ready, trying to fix problem cars and get stuff that we've sold out in time, that I would always see that as like not being as much of a priority. And I should, because you're right. Sometimes if I'm at auction and I buy a BMW or a Mercedes, but the wheels have been blacked, like you say, it's had the tints, it's had the bits, little boot spoiler, stuff that's probably cost 300, 400, £500 max. You buy it and think, you know what, if I buy that, it's going to sell quickly. So I'm not dismissing your advice. I think your advice is right. But
I don't think, Jimmy, we would do that initially. Sometimes you do, sometimes jazz them up a bit, but we'd normally let it have its run for about three months. 90 days and you haven't really turned it. You revisit it and you think, well, we'll tint the windows and we'll try and transform it into something. But I wouldn't initially.
No, I normally use the cheapest, easiest tactic in the world to get something gone, which is just lob a chunk off the price, because it's easy. Maybe it's lazy. Maybe I'm lazy. Shaping me at the minute, you probably say you are right, lazy bastard. But what other information is it showing, Dougie?
So obviously it's saying that the valuation, retail valuation, is about 15.3.
Okay.
So you're just sitting below that, aren't you? It also showed before that you've had two price changes. So you started off at 16,795.
Yeah.
You dropped it a few months later at 15,995, and then I'm assuming for your sale event you've went down to 14,995.
Yeah.
But obviously Brego is now saying that that's sort of on the money. It's got a desirability score using Brego's algorithm of 65.5%. So the cars are in decent supply and decent demand.
I think as well,
Stephen, average days to sale 26. So you're not performing well on that, are you?
We're not average though, mate. We're not.
No,
average,
I know you're not.
You know?
I know you're not.
They do it in 26. We take 150. You know.
I think when we're talking about the desirability with Brego, theirs takes in miles into consideration. I think, is that correct? No, we're saying that AutoTraders doesn't.
That's correct.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Well, you got to have like a 140,000 mile C-Class or a 60,000 mile C-Class. The AutoTrader desirability score, it doesn't affect that score. It still gives it whatever it is. Whereas the Brego will take into account of a car's high mileage. It'll adjust the desirability of it.
So it suggests it's less desirable if it's got high mileage.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Because I would always we sell a lot of high mileage stuff. Maybe that's why my days to turn is so horrendous. But we never do well with low mileage stuff. I mean, we know lads who do really well with low mileage stuff. But honestly, if I had a choice of buying a 30,000 mile whatever or an 85,000 mile whatever, I'd take the 85,000 miler every single day of the week, just because proportionately the money would be different, which means I can significantly differentiate myself from the seller that's often a main dealer. Do you know what I mean? Who's selling the lower mileage one? But that's how I've always done it. But every day,
because your main dealer wouldn't have the higher mileage one, would he? So it's like leaving an open market on it.
So you're cheaper already than a main dealer because you're not putting quite as big a margin, and then you've got the additional chunk of money because of the mileage. So you may be 4 or 5 grand cheaper than a main dealer for what fundamentally is the same car, just different numbers.
Somebody's wanting a lump of flash.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested in having a look at Brego or signing up for their platform, because you're a listener at Dealer Pod, you get 50% off for 6 months. That's 50% off the platform, which works out at only £175 a month for all that data that you get. And it is fantastic. Again, we'll show you more throughout the episodes. But if you do fancy having a go to brego.io/dealerpod, not Dealerway, DealerPod. So I think we've mucked around for too long, rabbiting on with ourselves. I think we'll introduce this week's guest in it. So this week's guest is the owner of Family Car Guy based in Devon. He also operates his own YouTube channel, What's on Court. I'm really pleased to welcome the show, Mr. Sam Watts. Hi Sam, how's it going, mate? You okay?
Very well, thanks. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me on.
No, you're more than welcome. We've wanted to get you on for a little bit, actually, Sam. Because
I'm looking forward to this one, man.
Yeah,
Sam's like pure character.
I was just going to say that he's a very interesting character from what I can see.
Not what you would say like standard issue Motor Trader, which is
no.
super interesting.
Do you want to tell us your story then, Sam, and how you've managed to get your way into this crazy world that we all live in?
I had to get myself in the right lump of poo, yeah. It was about 2 years ago. I had some time on my hands, and I literally thought, like, for shits and giggles, I'm going to go and buy a car, and I'm going to do this properly. I'm going to throw a bit of money at it. I could do with some extra income, so I bought a car at auction, set up all my insurance and everything. I literally used data because I'm pretty data driven. I had my previous businesses were, I was really focused on the figures and a bit of AI and all that. So I pulled all that in, and I went to auction to buy one specific car. And I stayed there all day. I've never bidded or anything. I was shaking and everything. And I bought this car and I got it home and I sold it 2 days later and made a stonking profit on it. And I went, that's it. I'm going to crack on. So I bought another one and I bought another one and they sold really quickly. Then I just thought, this is great fun. I was on my driveway. I started the YouTube channel as a bit of fun because I don't know much about cars. I'm not a mechanic. I don't. So I thought the YouTube channel would be really good to sort of get. If I say, well, there's a problem with this, how on earth do I figure out what it is? And everyone jumped in and said, it's your DPF, mate. And Discovery Sport. And so after about several DPF replacements. I ended up becoming a bit of an expert on the old Land Rovers, so we got more of those in. And then we moved to this office, which is beautiful. It's located right.
It looks like you're in a pub. Never mind an office.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I was thinking that.
It's an old converted barn, which is we wanted to create this business, the Family Car Guy. It's not your dirty, dusty forecourt on a main road. Yeah, it doesn't have passing trade, but we're really going to hit the business and go, right, it's all internet based. We'll get the punters in. So we've got a forecourt where we can hold about 40 cars, and we pay bugger all a month for it. So, and it's just worked really well. It's a gorgeous place to be. And so we stocked up to about 20 odd cars. And then we pulled it back to about 15, just at a point where when there's just one or two of you, when it's like, right, we need some extra help here, getting the extra help in, there's more of an outlay, your overheads start creeping up, and it's like, okay, let's not go too quickly, too far. Let's just pull it back again. And then pulling it back, I ended up sort of redesigning the website. We were on a DMS at the time. And then I was like, right, I really need to sort of get my marketing head into my back end platform to help drive sales and not have to rely on big expensive packages, because I knew we could get customers here organically just by various processes. So I built my own platform, and it worked so well. I ended up taking on more dealers, and dealers are now using this platform to help grow their businesses. Rank really high on Google for various topics and keywords, and that's just absolutely flown now. So my time is now in that platform, building it, making it better. I'm still doing the cars, so we're going to draw it back a little bit more, just for a time thing. But 2 years going from nothing, 20 cars, come back, build a platform, get dealers on board, and it's been one hell of a journey.
Can you just rewind a little bit, Sam? So what is your background then?
I had a web business back in my 20s, and then I started a furniture business where we made custom-made furniture, and I started it from scratch in my garage, basically. And then 10 years later, we had an enormous full-on workshop, loads of employees. We were sending bespoke farmhouse tables all around the world. And it was just, it just blew into this big monster. And that I built up purely from scratch. So I did all the website myself, the marketing, the SEO, everything. So I figured out what worked, what didn't work, and then I then applied all that to the car industry, because people's buying habits and what they see, what they click on, how they get to you is all very similar. But I found that it wasn't being done in the car trade very well, so I did it. But my background is running a business, marketing.
So what happened with that business then? Why the change of industry?
So that business, during the credit crunch, we actually moved part of that business up to Yorkshire, and to a company that could manufacture. So overheads got huge. We grew very quickly and very big. The overheads grew to a point where it was like, right, we need to sort of pull this back. So the manufacturing ended up going up to Yorkshire. That gave me a huge amount of time down here, because I was then concentrating on the business and working on that. So that's when I had lots of time on my hands, and it was like, right, let's go and buy a car. Everything was being manufactured elsewhere. That problem was out of my hair. Got rid of the workshop, because that was just crippling us financially in the end. Materials are going up and everything. So it was an interesting journey. Very interesting.
Do you still have that business, Sam, or not?
No, I don't have it anymore.
Right.
No, we got rid of that business in the end.
Are you on like a farm? I feel like you're a bit farmy. Like
no,
are you not? You do. And is that a bird cage behind you with a bird?
With a light. Yeah,
it's a light.
A lesser spotted light bulb. Yeah. No, this is the office.
It's fabulous,
isn't it?
It's all open plan over there as well. So nice.
So tell us a little bit more about because I am interested in hearing about this platform that you've built. But just on the cars to start off with, like you knew nothing about the motor trade.
Nothing.
How did you start then? Like where did you go? What did you do? What sort of money did you start with? Just tell us a bit more about about how you implemented things and got
Yeah,
going
so
and learned?
I just split up from my my long-term partner who I got 2 kids with. I moved out the family home, went and moved into this little quaint little cottage in the middle of absolutely nowhere, and then I knew absolutely nothing about the car industry, nothing whatsoever, and I just thought it would be quite a fun thing to do. It's completely different. I like cars. I don't know a huge amount about them, but I just thought, right, all the data is there. All the data I can get, in an auction catalog, I can pull all the data in there. I can analyze it in spreadsheets. I can get AI to help and reference, various other sites and sources on the web to figure out which are good cars. So I started learning that way, really, which cars to stay away from, which I bought, and which cars had good margins, more problematic. And then at the end of it, I just thought, you know what, if you actually look at what everyone's saying about every car, you won't buy a bloody car. You just won't buy one. So I kind of just pushed all that to one side and actually started buying cars that I quite like to drive, suited our area down here. So I started off by buying 2 or 3. I think I put I must have put in about 20 grand or something, and then we ended up putting another 80 grand in. So quite within about 6 months, I think we had about 20 cars in stock.
And how were you advertising those cars then? Was it an AutoTrader?
So I was like, well, I did take an AutoTrader package because at that point I was like, well, that's what everyone does. You go in the car trade. If you've got 7 or more cars or so, it kind of makes sense to go on AutoTrader, get them out the door quickly. AutoTrader seems to be the best way of doing that. So we did that. I then thought, right, if we're going to fail, I want to fail quickly. So I want to try stuff, and I want to go on that enhanced package. Actually, I think we went on to Ultra at some point because we had some quite desirable stock in, so like Q7s, and thinking that people would come from afar to come and buy them. Yeah, they did, but it wasn't worth it for us. So we then tailed back, and then eventually the sales that we were getting and the people coming to the website and everything were actually coming off our own back because we did a huge amount of local advertising, local marketing. We sponsored, petrol pump adverts. We approached Morrison's and they allowed us to put banners outside the supermarket. We teamed up the local food bank. We give 50 quid for every car to the food bank. So a local presence was really important for us because that's what we wanted. We wanted people down the road to come to us and then to be really happy with the car and then come back again to buy their next car, refer us to a friend, they'll come and buy a car. So we wanted to get that going. And local advertising is cheap. It's cheap advertising. And that banner in front of Morrison's cost us 20 quid. Wow. I mean, nothing. So it was finding little avenues locally that we could get punters through the door. And we went to a trade show, the Devon show. We were the only little independent car dealer there. It just got our name out. It gave us a bit more exposure. So we then whittled the AutoTrader package right down, and it was last October we just completely cut it. So now we just have a Car Gurus package. That's it.
Are you selling cars off it?
Sorry.
Huh? Are you selling cars off from your Car Gurus package?
Yeah, we are, and Car Gurus is good for certain stock. It's a good cheap stock will shift quickly in Car Gurus. I found, more expensive stuff, higher stuff, I find it sticks.
And I'm actually interested in this because I thought about doing this when I've been at the petrol pump. When you see the advertisements, do you want to advertise here? Yeah. Does that work? Did you have any feedback from that?
Well, when you start getting WhatsApps all the time from everyone that knows you saying, "Look where I am." I mean, all right, mate, thanks. But they're taking pictures of the pump with a stupid face of me going, on my little avatar thing, and it's you can't gauge your conversion rate on that.
Yeah.
It's brand awareness. It is it's just being there, being present, being in a letting people know that you are there if they want to sell or buy a car. And I think it did work. Yeah,
I think geographically where you are, because you're very much on the south coast, aren't you? So if you did a big circle around your business, half of your punters are essentially mermaids and people in the sea, aren't they? So you perhaps, I feel like doing different things, a bit more innovative, like you've done there, is just fantastic. Like a banner at Morrison's, man. I'd love to drive past Asda round the corner and see a banner for us, but I wouldn't think to do that. We just, and I think sometimes when you bring an approach into the industry from someone who's not been in the industry, you look at things differently. We're kind of preconditioned to got to be on the listing sites, what we've always done.
Yeah.
And this is why, again, I think it's fascinating to talk to someone such as yourself who's just come into it like, I like cars, I'm going to sell cars, and I'm just going to market my business my own way and make it up as I go along. You know,
that's it. There is no plan. You know, you just head in one direction. If it doesn't work, move on. Just do another one. Try something else. But you're Asda. Call up your local. Call up the manager there and introduce yourself and say, look, how about we have a banner? And they'll go, all right then. There you go. It's exactly what we did. And we did say, we're going to give something to the local food bank. And they said, that's fantastic, Sam. How generous of you. Brilliant. So we did that. And then we did the Motor Trade Melee with Joe shifting metal. I bought a hearse and I
know the hearse.
Do you
know the hearse? Because I wanted to talk to you about the hearse, because the hearse was on a Bangers for Ben previously. And I think it won best car, annoyingly. So it beat our car. And then I saw you in it. I'm like, where did you buy that from?
I bought it from a chap in Wales. Exeter. Yeah. And no, it's a cracking car. Really,
it's the one with a pub in it. There's a pub. There's a pump.
There's a pint of Guinness on the bonnet, and that lights up when you turn the headlights on. And I was going to pimp it out inside and everything, but I just didn't have time. But no, so we stickered that up with the Totnes Food Bank, everything, and went off. So, and when we drive that around, we still got it actually. It went to auction because we meant to auction it off, and the money goes to charity. It went to auction, so I ended up buying it back off auction. So I bought it twice now. And, so we sometimes drive it around town. Get some looks on that one. It's good fun. I don't care.
And have you stickered that up with your logo?
Yeah. Stick it up. Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, good idea. I actually done that exact same thing, years ago. I used to have I had an idea of starting a business. Well, I did start the business. It was a gaming centre, and at the time the Xbox 360 was like a big thing. And basically the concept, it was called Gamer Zone, and the concept was we got like 20 odd Xboxes together in this big sort of building. And we're doing it all out like a gaming zone, and there was kids used to come in and have kids parties and shoot each other on Call of Duty and all the rest of it. And I'd actually bought a hearse, exactly the same thing that you've done, and sticking it up with Gamer Zone. We actually, you're talking like 16, 17 years ago now, we actually used to pick people's kids up in the hearse and take them to Gamer Zone. The Irie's not lost on us at that. Yeah. That was a long time
Stephen,
ago.
you'll not remember that's when we first met.
It is, I do remember.
Because
we walked in the Granger Games.
That's right. Yeah, and you were coming to buy a load of Xboxes and that.
That's right.
You were both into games, weren't you? Yeah, if you remember Games Master TV show.
Yeah, we know.
Games Master Golden Joystick win.
Yeah, I see.
So maybe we have a game off at some point, boys.
100%. Yeah.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, I'll batter the pair of you.
Will you? Sorry, Sam. Continue. You were saying.
What was I saying? No, I'll send you a pic.
Definitely.
Stick it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stick it up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was good fun. So yeah, local advertising, local marketing, cheap as chips. Try it out. It's the best. It's one of the best things you can do. Really, don't try and rely on the biggest bigger packages going to get sucked in, thinking you've got to have the AutoTrader package. Yeah, I got sucked in and failed. And then found out it wasn't really working for us in the end, costing a fortune. Ditched it.
Thing is, what I will say though, Sam, I mean, AutoTrader can actually take a bit of a battering on here. Sometimes I feel like we've had a few shows in a row where people have picked up on negative connotations around the AutoTrader. Obviously, as everyone knows, I don't use AutoTrader, but I do think AutoTrader is fantastic though. I think, both obviously Scott and Jamie are using it, and as a platform for selling cars to the general public. There isn't a better one. Let's be honest, there isn't. And I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to AutoTrader, because I think AutoTrader, despite all the bad publicity, I do think they do a good job. I genuinely do.
I trust the team from AutoTrader passed you a significant bribe on.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Sitting on a wad of cash there.
No, they didn't. I just think it's fair. I just don't want it to come across that we're like anti AutoTrader, because we're not.
No, I mean I'm not anti AutoTrader at all.
No, and I'm not. I wasn't saying that, Sam. It's just, sorry, you've maybe, because you've touched on it the last few shows, there's been a few mentions about it, and I just don't want people thinking that all them dealer pod lads that don't like AutoTrader because we've got two huge customers. Well, we found it last week. I'm a customer as well, aren't I? So we're all customers of AutoTrader.
I'm a massive advocate of AutoTrader. Sorry, just to jump in there, and always have been. And my business wouldn't be where it is now without AutoTrader. Yeah. And there are some fantastic people in that organisation, and it's a cheat code to getting quality leads and selling cars quickly. You just have to pay for the privilege. The only issue I have with it is the cost. I feel the cost has become disproportionately expensive, and I've been vocal about it. But it's nothing personal, because, as I say, there's some brilliant people in that business and that organisation. And if you want to sell cars quickly, it's the platform to go on, I would suggest. But
Jimmy, what about the car dealer awards when reception and AutoTrader walked in, you booed them?
I know, but they're my guys, man. So it was Marvin, it was Mark, and it was David. They're my guys, man. And I hope
they took it well, didn't they? They took it well.
I just had the crack with them, and I saw them in the crowd, saw them at the conference, and I made a beeline for them, and I went straight over. I give them both a big hug because I like them. They're good. They're good guys. Good, and as I say, the product's good, but as dealers, like you're doing, Sam, you're making it work without feeding the machine and paying them the big bucks. And it's a reminder for us to look elsewhere and have a bit of everything rather than all in one pot.
Every dealer and everyone's completely different. If someone's not if someone just wants to sort of get your vehicles advertised, get them on there and get them sold, and you haven't got time to do the local marketing and everything, so that absolutely get them on there. Get them on. AutoTrader is the biggest platform. Stick them on there. In fact, we still, some stock, we put them on the pay as you go, and they do sell. They sell. So, but yes, for us it was cost, and we could get stock shifted cheaper ways. So it was.
What do you tend to sell? What stuff's working for you at the minute, or is it again a bit of everything?
Bit of Discovery Sports.
Yeah, you're speaking my language now. I love a Disco Sport.
We actually, in the early days, we would have about 3 or 4 Discovery Sports on the forecourt, and we would sell them all day long, and we would be making our biggest profits then. I think we had one which went a bit bandy. You've got to expect it. You buy these cars, you're nuts if you go and buy something like that and then something goes wrong, and then you bawl yourself to tears. You've just got to understand there's potentially going to be a problem, sort it out, make sure the margin is big enough. But we cruised through quite a few months of picking the right ones, and made a lot of money on those. But then we stopped doing them for a few months. We had quite a few warranty claims come in on a couple of them, and then we started trading with some stocks like Nissan Qashqais, Skoda Yetis, that sort of small little SUV sort of market, sort of up to about around about 80 grand, 80,000 miles, 8,000 quid, something like that, around that sort of mark, and they started shifting quite a lot. So part exchanges, small little runarounds. You know, people down in Devon, they don't mind a car with a bit of Devon rash on it. You know, they don't expect every car to be pristine. So when you're selling a car that's, you know, around 7 grand, if it's got a little thing down it, everyone goes, well, don't worry about that. I'm going to be putting loads on it down the lanes. You know, so we've sort of learnt a lesson on prepping cars. We don't prep them as, you know, we sort of leave bits out. And if we do get a fussy customer that says, you know, what can you do on the price on this? You know, and if you pay full price, we'll get that scratch done. Okay.
Sam, what, because you've only been at it 2 years, I'm interested in here, what would you find that your biggest challenge has been since you've entered the motor trade?
Prepping, actually. Yeah. Prepping. Finding that it's our biggest problem is getting the cars in and getting them up for sale quick enough. And yeah, okay, I've had some distractions with building this new platform and everything, so it's taken me away from the hands-on getting stuff prepped. But I find prepping really difficult, and you know, getting to the exact level of prep, how much to do. I really struggle on that part of the business, and we've tried everything, prepping everything before it goes up for sale.
Hard.
And also getting it up for sale, then prepping, or what do you leave to the point? Which bits do you leave out once the car's sold? Do you then do the servicing and final MOT and then out? Or so we've tried every single variation. But it's tricky. I think being rural and stuff.
Sam, I'm 20 years in and I still haven't sussed it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Buying, I love buying. I absolutely love it. I love going to the auction. I think it's great. I get an absolute buzz. I find it a giggle as well. It's really
Where
good.
are you buying from, Sam? Which auctions are you using?
I tend Mannheim down in Plymouth. And BCA, I bought a V-Class from BCA a couple of days ago. I'm heading up to Bedford today, actually, getting on a train in about an hour and heading up to Bedford. And that's how I was going to head up to Bedford, but they've lost all the money. I've sent 64 grand. We sent 64 grand, and they can't find the payment.
What?
So I can't collect it. I can't book it in for a collection. I booked the tickets. I'm heading out to go and pick this thing up. Anyway, I see. Yeah, this is not part of our stock. That vehicle is for something else, by the way. Hello, chap.
This is absolutely brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Sold.
Get away!
Get in. Yeah.
You literally broke the internet, Jamie.
In the back of the net. In the back of the net. Yeah, I'm being told, you don't know what you're doing. Scott's like, you need to do tints. Dougie's like, Jamie, this is embarrassing. Yeah. I have faith in my team and my ability to just knock large sums of money off cars, make them so cheap that people have to buy them. But come on.
That is amazing.
That's incredible.
4 minutes past 2. Actually, just before you started, chucking me under the bus and making me look like I don't know what I'm doing to the entire industry, which officially I don't. But yeah,
actually, Stephen talked about it. Did you ever see Max, which you had in stock forever? And we mentioned that on the pod, and then you sold it.
Then I sold it. Can we keep mentioning all of my cars?
I'm going to run through a few.
It's uncanny that though, isn't it? We find that all the time. We talk to work about, why is that stuck? And we'll bring it up in conversation, never mention the car for weeks and weeks, and all of a sudden, I'll go away somewhere and do something, and I'll get you'll never guess. And I'm like, we've done it, That's uncanny, that.
Do you ever have an overage car that you suddenly sell and the customer's like, I've been looking for one for 3 months.
And you think, well, where you been looking?
It's been here 3 months.
Yeah.
You've not been looking in the right place.
I did one yesterday, and I do obviously price adjustments. To do a price adjustment, 500 quid off a car. And they took a deposit on it about half an hour later, but obviously they caught the adjustment and then adjusted it back.
Anyways, we'll move on a bit more. Sam,
Yo.
can you tell us a bit more about your YouTube channel and why you got into that and what effect that's had on your car sales business?
Yeah. The YouTube channel, I was a bit sort of like, I don't know whether I should do this at all, because I was a bit of a rabbit in the headlights, And I think for anyone starting a YouTube channel, getting in front of the camera and doing, vlogging and documenting something I've never really done before. But I just thought, sod it, I'm going to do it. And I started doing it. And I was buying Discovery Sports and things like that. So of course everyone was piping in and, what the hell are you doing? You just start out, are you mad? So that sort of fueled me to sort of carry on, carry on documenting it, because people wanted to see how that that disco sport went, and what was that light on for, and how did the DPF go when it went into the garage, and everyone loves disaster on YouTube, absolutely loves disaster, and I just thought, well, this potentially has disaster written all over it, so I'm just gonna do it. So I started documenting it, and I love a beer, and every episode would be like finish it off in the pub and do a sort of show the punters where I live, cracking boozer here, we'll take this car there on a test drive, and wrap the whole week up over a pint. And I just really enjoyed doing it. I got into a rhythm of documenting, and then people started sending beer. A box of beer arrived this morning from a subscriber, and I just found it great fun and really useful, because there's some really switched on guys out there. Fortunately, I get no haters. I get no nasty trolls or anything like that. Everyone jumps in with really good advice on how to rectify something, and I found it invaluable. Actually, it's really good. I mean, it gave me a reason to carry on getting the videos out, which was, I'd never do it for money or anything like that. It was purely for trying to figure out what to do with this. What's your view on, should I retail this car, or should I just move it on, or that sort of thing. So it was, I found it really, really valuable, actually.
It seems mad to me that you say that you didn't feel natural or nervous. You're very engaging character and very watchable. I'm not creeping here, do you know what I mean? But you genuinely are. So, and I can understand, I think with some of the viewers, because you're not motor trade, we're all motor trade. People, by and large, don't particularly like motor dealers. Do you know, I hate to say it, as much as we're nice people, because you're not, again, true, like, not saying you're not true motor trade, you're motor trade through and through now, but I think that will help with your engagement as well. Because like, this is a normal bloke, man, and he's having a go. And it's,
I also pretend to be a motor dealer, mate. Plus,
I think it helps the way you see it. I think it really helps your channel the way you say the word punters. Go on, say the word punters.
I always said it the same way as you did it.
No.
Punters, yeah.
No, you said it differently before, and I was like, that is so smooth.
Yeah, I often find myself mimicking what the stereotypical motor trade would do, mate. All right, and all my customers. If I'm sort of talking about our customers, they're all from up north. What are you going to give me off that car? I'm not going to give you anything, old chap.
So where you're located geographically, I spent 3-4 times a year in Torquay, and I just Googled where you were earlier. I did a little bit of research, I know a bit about you, but what an amazingly lovely part of the country you're in, is phenomenal. My parents' friends had a hotel down there, so we'd just go and stay in a hotel. It was amazing. You'd go and have breakfast, and it was a hotel, had a swimming pool, and it was just amazing. But it's clean down there. It just felt clean. It's nice. It's just English Riviera, and
it's
what
lovely.
A place to live and sell cars, man.
Yeah. Well, you've got the more Dartmoor on your right, and there's some fantastic boozers up there. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. It's like little chocolate box, little pubs and what have you. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got the sea over there. You know, Dartmouth, Salcombe, Torquay, and it's absolutely stunning. The coastline is beautiful. So yeah, really lucky to be in such a gorgeous part of the world. You know, what are people like down here? Totnes is really alternative. Yeah, you know, you've got to have your tie-dyed t-shirts and all sorts of take vitamins every day. And if you live in Totnes, that's I can be careful what I say. But there's a lot of money down here, and you can often tell that by the amount of art galleries on the high street.
Yeah.
So we did have some some high value stock here, sort of 20 grand, Volvos, and we had the Q7, we had the Discovery Sports up into the 17,000 pound range. They would sell, and there's also a really big market for the cheaper stuff. A huge market down here. A couple of grand, they all fly out in seconds. But yeah, there's a mix of people here. Yeah, real mix of people.
So Sam, obviously you came in the motor trade, no knowledge, not knowing what you're doing. You've scrambled your way through it. You've took on an office, took on a forecourt. You've been through AutoTrader, and then you've also started your own YouTube channel. You've documented it. And then you mentioned before, which I want to get onto, you've also thought, I've recognized a few problems inside my own business, and I know how to rectify them with using my previous experience from my previous businesses. Talk to me about this platform, because obviously I've had a conversation with you on the phone about it, and you kindly give us a demo of it, and I've had a little quick look in it. I didn't have enough time, to be honest with you, before the show to have a deep dive, but I will do. And I was really impressed, to be fair, that you'd managed to do all that, run a YouTube channel, run a car dealership, and then building this whole platform on your own as well, haven't you? You've had no help with it. Right. And there's some unique things in there, isn't there? Around content for dealers' websites and what. Can you just explain to Jamie and Scott, really, but the audience, anyone watching, what you've done?
Yeah, I mean, we were on a DMS system. It was we were on DealerKit. No thing to DealerKit. DealerKit's a great platform. Love the guys there. We're on it. It worked really well for us. But I needed to have my marketing toolbox there, and I needed to have ways of getting my site, organically hitting, punching high on Google for cars I've got in stock. I wanted to write about, the best family cars for 2026, that sort of thing. I wanted to write articles because, having a website, everyone gets a website, and then they put the cars on it, and then they leave it, and then they rely on the big expensive packages and what have you to bring in the customers. The website will bring in the customers if you treat it right and you've got the tools to do it. So I built the platform, which is a great DMS system. It does everything a great DMS system does, but it does a lot more. So we have an SEO studio built into it. So the vehicles on your site get optimized and start ranking properly on Google and AI search. We've integrated a big software company into the platform that helps all the search volumes, and we've got AI into it, and it's grown into a bit of a beast, to be honest, from something I was just using in my own dealership to help me. We've now got a lot of dealers using it, and only this morning we wrote some articles and what have you for a classic car company, and poof, they're at the top of Google for within 24 hours. So it's basically the aim of the platform is to give you more exposure for bugger all money, really. I mean, that's the tagline: more exposure, bugger all money. So, but it's got auction catalog analyzer, so you can upload an auction catalog for a BCA auction catalog with 700 cars on it. It will sift through everything and pick out the cars that are right for you. It's got so many tools in addition to what a normal DMS would have. It's got its own imaging suite, background removals. It's got Brego valuations on all vehicles.
Oh, good.
So all we use is the Brego valuations tool. It's wired in for AutoTrader as well. If you've got an AutoTrader package, it will display all that. So yeah, it's it's working, and it's working really well. And dealers are using it at the moment, and they're getting really good results. And that's the plan moving forward. It's just helping people get more exposure. We'll be adding to it in the future. I'll be adding a local exposure section where just putting in ways you can get business locally, just like how we did as well. So local search, how to do that, AI, Google, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's taken over a year to build. It's almost solid, but no, it's a great little platform.
So if myself or Jamie or Scott wanted to have a look at it, or let's say you're sat in front of it and you're trying to sell with, why should we move to that platform when we're already with established platforms? Other than the content stuff, what else does it do?
Well, it comes with, well, as far as a DMS platform, as I said, it does everything that your platform will do. It will come with a website as well, which we will make for you, and you'll basically see your exposure levels on. If you look at your analytics and your impressions of where you're coming and your rankings for everything, you will go up. That's exactly what's happening with all the dealers that are on the platform at the moment, and we're encouraging people to sort of get to know how SEO and AI search works. If you just hand it over to someone else, you're not learning about it yourself. You're never going to know what's working and what's not working. So the tools are all there in the system, and we've got guides and everything to help you understand. If you do this, that will happen. Test, and you will see the results. So, if I was to sell you the platform, it would be the platform will pay for itself every month. It's not expensive, but you will get more people to your site. The site is your shop window, and it needs to look amazing and awesome. So
does it have workshop functionality, or is it more just for car sales?
It's having a workshop. We've got a workshop section literally being made at the moment, but it's going to be quite an advanced. It's for small independents. It's going to be awesome. So it's going to. You'll be able to tie in with your local garages, MOT stations, automatic. They'll be able to, through the whole system, everyone can communicate with each other. So it will be very streamlined. But, yeah.
So like for Scott and Jamie's operation, they're running big operations where they've got like 200 cars in stock and they're selling over 100 a month. They've got different departments. They've got valeting department. They've got workshops.
Yeah.
They've got sales.
Yeah.
Could that be used internally for that as well?
Yeah. So everyone will be able to talk to each other. Well, everyone will be able to see what stage the vehicle's at, where it needs to go. Everyone will get notified of when it's completed out of there and it's got to go into here. If you're doing everything in-house, that will work fine. And also it'll work externally as well. We've got really good relationships with our garages and external dent man. And so if we've got the car will go in, the dent man will get notified. When the dent man's finished his work, he just taps a button on the app, and then the garage will then take the booking for the MOT, and so it'll all be all streamlined like that. So we don't want to make the platform, we don't want to go too fast too quickly with it. We want, this platform works brilliantly as it is at the moment. Yeah, if we've got dealers with over 100 cars on there at the moment, it works absolutely fine for them. It all depends on your individual internal processes, whether you sub everything out, whether you handle it in-house. So yeah.
So, Sam, you set this up. So did you think there was a gap in the market for it? Did you get demos of, apart from your with dealer kit? Did you look into what was available in the market and then think, look, if I came up with that, I can fill a lot of holes what's not available? Or what made you decide to go down that route?
Well, I literally did it because that was going to work for me. I wanted to create my own. I was only intended to use it for my own dealership.
Right.
And when it got to a point where it was really working and it was really quite valuable, I was like, right, other people will want this. People starting up, for instance, and existing independent dealers. This is awesome because everything is under the bonnet. Just one bonnet, it does everything. So, integration with all the advertising. Yeah, we're not persuading people not to go and take on big packages because we've all had them and we still have some, and they all we integrate with all of them as well. But it's also helping people to, we all look through spreadsheets and everything when we're looking at auction catalogs and what have you. Well, this has a really slick way of analysing auction catalogs. I mean, you need to give it a go. You can sign up to a free account on the Carbotix homepage. You can get and you can use the auction analyzer on there. Yeah.
What about staff? How many staff is there, Sam? I know it was just you initially, but on the platform, how many's in the team?
How many's on my team?
Yeah, just you.
Yes. Yeah, just me.
Really?
Yeah. Me. And I'm in the car business. I've got Michelle, my partner, as well. Yeah.
In terms of marketing the Carbotix, are you doing it kind of through word of mouth? I know you're on your podcast with Rob.
Yeah.
Have you kind of picked up through that, or is it local people? How are you getting your product out there?
Yeah, not locally. It is word of mouth. So my YouTube channel. Got dealers coming because as I was setting it up, I was sort of documenting what I was doing and everything, and people were seeing what was going on, and they loved it. And when I said, right, it's launched, who wants some of this? They were going, yes, please. So we took on a load of dealers that way, and then word of mouth brought more on. Rob's video that I did on the logbook. We got a lot of dealers signing up there, and now we're just getting word of mouth. People saying, "This is great. I've got a few dealers that I know will absolutely love this." And the great thing about the platform is, if there's something that needs to be integrated, I'll integrate it. If dealers are saying, "Look, Sam, this is great. Can we do it this way? And how about if we do this like that?" I'll go, right, I'm all ears. Let's do it. So we're all on a WhatsApp group. I do polls, where, guys, will you find this useful? How about this? How about that? They're all like, yeah, great. So I go and build it. We've got deals with Car Gurus. I think exclusive deals. If you're on the platform, you'll get, up to nearly 200 quid off your monthly package price. So yeah, it's a platform that in every aspect of the motor industry, buying cars, selling cars, marketing, advertising. It's a platform that helps you in every single aspect.
It's actually, I've seen it obviously. I can't believe you've actually built that yourself. It's you should see it, Scott and Jamie. It's mega. It really is. It's like what he's done on his own. I mean, even you're there talking about doing integrations with car. That's wow. I'm amazed. Well done.
I don't think that on your own, because I mean normally I was with Click Dealer and with Dragon now, and they've got 40 staff or 70 staff or whatever, and they've got a load in the team, and then you ask for a little change to be done. They say, that's on the next quarterly build, or that's in the pipeline.
You WhatsApp me, it'll be done in 10 minutes.
Really?
I think you'll find a lot of these old legacy companies, legacy may be the wrong word, but
no, it is the correct
70, 80, 100
and
employees.
technology's changing now. And ways that we can create stuff, now is a lot quicker now. So I really enjoy doing it. I really enjoy doing it, building it, seeing the results. That is the biggest reward, and when a dealer goes live, when we've worked on their site, the dealer goes live, it gets optimized, we run all their cars through the SEO studio, we get some articles up, and then they're straight up the top there. It's such a good feeling. So, and it's great that it works. So we will be really heavily pushing that side of the business. The DMS system, it's great, it works fine. We'll be improving that as and where it needs to get improved, but we'll be really pushing forward we're all gonna search for cars in a slightly different way moving forward. We're all getting to a more conversational way with Chat GPT. It's like, I'm looking for a car that blows. So content has got to change for AI search to pick that up, and it's got to be set in a certain way on a page, and with the right schema in the code and everything. We don't put in Ford Escort for sale Totnes. It's I'm looking for a car. It knows you're in Totnes anyway. I'm looking for a car. Family run around for the school run. What can you find for me?
Jamie, just as a side note, if you would have stayed round to watch me on stage yesterday, you would know this because I said the exact same thing on yesterday's Car Dealer Live. So I'm fully on board, Sam. Yeah. I'm interested. I'm interested here first and foremost. How many dealers you actually got signed up?
We've got about 30 at the moment.
It's mega that, mate.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah,
well, brilliant.
I think we launched it in October, properly. I can't remember. And then, we had. It's been great. It's been good.
Can I give you an idea? Just come to us in my mind there. The content stuff that you're talking about around, ranking your website and making it show for AI bots to pull the data from and recommend you when people are typing phrases in using that chatbot, or when people are going on Google to show up there. I think that's probably the biggest, strongest, most powerful feature that's on there that I've seen so far anyways. And I'm sitting here thinking, take Jamie and Scott, for example. They are both invested in DMS systems already. And as a car dealer, changing that system is a mammoth task. And especially, let's be honest, for like a not a mature platform. I don't know if you can do this, but I'm assuming not at the moment. But I would suggest that it might be an idea for you to go away with. But if you could somehow give dealers the tools to market their business using the SEO and the AI package stuff, that they could still use separately to the DMS system that they've already got, that dealers would be more inclined to take that to, likes of a Jamie or a Scott, to try that. And then once they're embedded in that ecosystem and they like it, then it's an easier sell to push them through the full system.
Well, we have to have to tap into their websites. They're usually bolted onto their current DMS, or they're with like 67 Degree or one of the other website providers. But we're actually building sites for dealers alongside their current site, which is purely an SEO engine. It displays their current stock on it. They run their own current platform. We've got a separate website which is basically feeds that other website, feeds their current one. So nothing's getting changed, nothing's getting touched, but it's purely a content monster that is fully optimized for everything, and then links through to their current site.
Right,
that sounds good.
Yeah. In terms of your business, obviously you're looking to push this more. You plan just to stop selling cars completely, or are you thinking there's always going to be a pitch?
I'll always have, Jamie, 2 Discovery Sports out there.
I'm going to sleep better.
Yeah, we'll have. We'll see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes. I'm not. Yeah, having 20 odd cars at the moment is impossible because I can't be here and there everywhere, and I don't want to start employing people. I'd rather just pull back. So I'll probably be pulling it right back to a handful and carry on doing that. I still want to keep dabbling, mate. I want to keep dabbling at the odd stock, and because I can. I'm in the industry there as well as here. I mean, I can if I can see how the market is going, it helps me with the platform as well. It helps me adapt slightly. So I will keep some cars going, definitely.
Yeah, when my old business popped and I started again, and I wasn't necessarily going to go straight back into selling cars, and I thought I'm going to start a little social media agency where I'm going to dealers will give me a few £100. I'll set them up a Google profile. This was back in 2016, 17, nobody had Google profiles. They weren't pushing for reviews, weren't putting stuff on Facebook. And I was like, look, I'll charge them £300 a month. And I picked 5 or 6 customers up, and I'm starting to think, I could pick 10, 15, 20, 30, and this could be my future. And then I flipped an X5 on the drive for £1,000, almost in my pants in about 7 minutes. And I think I'm just inherently lazy. And I was just like, you know what, man? I'm just a car dealer. That's what I like to do. But if I'd have gone down the other route, I could have, like you say, the scope's incredible for what you could do. You get 1,000 dealers. Do you know what I mean? And they're paying you a sub, so it's a recurring sub, but like I say, this one deal on the drive, Jeremy Kyle was on, I think, and I had me toast and my dressing gown on. Almost sound right. Come in and count the cash out. See you in a bit.
You can't turn a deal down. You got to do a deal. You got to do a deal. Yeah.
Well, I admire your drive because again, what you're doing must take time, and you have a passion for it. But I admire the drive to do it. And like you're saying, you're building up, and it must be extremely rewarding. Like you say, picking these customers up, seeing their results off the website, and you probably get that hit that maybe I get when. Yeah, I see a deal scored in the WhatsApp group and stuff. So
it's a great feeling to help people. Some people think, well, Sam, you don't know anything about cars. What do you know about all this? Well, actually, marketing is one of my strengths. The optimization is one of my strengths. I used to be a web designer many years ago, so I'll just pull everything together. I don't need to know how to change an alternator in a VW Golf or anything like that. But this works well, and I love doing it. It's brilliant.
Sam, if somebody does want to have a look at the platform, dealer watching and fancies having a go of it, where do they need to go?
Carbotix.co.uk. So carbotix.co.uk. Yeah, that's the platform. Have a look at it. You can WhatsApp me through that. Send us an email through it. Have a look on the YouTube channel, What's on Court. That will show you what a load of bloody mess on there, but you might have a bit of a giggle while watching. But yeah, that's shown sort of how I have built it over the past few months. So yeah, jump in, give us a shout, and we can have a chat and do a screen share and what have you. So yeah.
Great stuff. Fantastic. Sam, thanks for coming on, mate. I really appreciate you taking some time out to speak to us. It's been enjoyable.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Ray.
I've got to get my train now. It leaves in 20 minutes.
Oh, that was a good job of wrapping up then, isn't it?
Off to Bedford. Find out if they got this money yet.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll let you get away. And for everyone else, make sure you like and you subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.